What's up, comic fam, comic fans? And it's time for new comic book day. Why? With comic news. What's up, comic fam, comic fans? Happy comic book day. Happy new comic book day. If you're wondering why you didn't see any alerts for this, because maybe 15 minutes ago, I was like, oh no, I never made the stream. So I expect very few people even know this is happening right now. But anyway, let's do it. So let's get into some comic news, and we'll start off with a new Archie movie. Universal Pictures is set to start working on a new Archie movie, and it looks like Spider-Verse producers Phil Lord and Christopher Miller are behind this studio pick. All right, that'll be starring Archie, Veronica, Betty, and their friends. So probably Jughead will be in there too, maybe some other. But this is all via The Hollywood Reporter. And Emma Watts will also be producing this. So yeah, I mean, Archie's been around for like, 85 years. So there's a lot of material to deal with here. They may just make their own standalone story. Who knows? But yeah, Archie is going to get its own movie. So that's interesting news. And then the Spider-Man Brand New Day, they've added another character or another actor who's playing a mystery role from a show I know a lot of people are familiar with, Severance. I have yet to watch it, but you know, they've it looks like the Spider-Man film so far will have John Bernthal, right, the Punisher, Mark Ruffalo, the Hulk, and Michael Mando, who's Mac Gargan and Scorpion, will be in here. But they have added, and I don't know the actor at all, Trammell Tillman, right, from Severance, and he's been cast for the project, but it's in some kind of role that I am unfamiliar with. If I'd watch Severance, you probably know who I'm talking about. So that's that on that end. All right, so we are doing the new comic book day. Why? So I guess we'll get into the comics. We'll show them off. We'll see if Aaron shows up today. Busy man, but I can't blame him. And then we'll keep it rolling. So that, guys, was the comic news. I really should get some kind of graphic for that. Yeah. All right. So let's get into the comic books for today. If your comic shop puts them out, I do recommend at least perusing the comic shop news paper they have here. Let's see. Twilight. What real slips away? Fear takes over. You've just crossed into the Twilight Zone. Man, I remember when the Twilight Zone was on as a kid. That used to scare the Jesus out of me. The Jesus. All right. Let's see. What do they have in here today? Sometimes there's good articles. Sometimes there's not. And sometimes there's stuff that I don't know. All right. I like this that they put in here called Lost Character. And they'll cover a character that hasn't been featured in a while. Yeah, didn't really break into pop culture. This one is Ironjaw. Atlas Seaboard Steeljaw Savage is a forgotten gem of 1970s comic excess. Set in a barbaric future, he's part Conan, part cyborg, and all attitude, with a tortured past, relentless fury, and a literal iron jaw. He storms through a violent wasteland, swinging a sword and spitting venom. The stories are gritty, melodramatic, and gloriously unhinged. Ironjaw isn't subtle, but that's the fun. He's a brutal blast from the past that deserves a second look. All right, so that's Ironjaw out of Atlas. Atlas was at New York Comic Con last year in 2024. They were releasing some figures that were supposed to be exclusive to Walmart. But honestly, I haven't seen anything since New York Comic Con. Let's see what else. They have an article about the best Wonder Woman arcs. You can read that and make up, your own mind if you agree with them or not. They always do kind of like a creator spotlight. So here's Barry Diller. And, spotlight some books or comics that are coming out. There's some more. And some more. Definitely a Twilight Zone article. What's up, Birdman? Birdman in the house. And Brian checking in. What's up, guys? I'm surprised you guys saw the notification this was happening today, because I forgot to do it until earlier today, to create the stream. So, but thank you for joining. Oh, Kirby's in the house too. What's up, Kirby? Comic book news. Zdarsky news are great freebies to grab from your CLZ, and I recommend grabbing the IDW catalog. Most of them have a free poster in them. Yes, that's right. The IDW catalog usually does have a free poster in them, so those are pretty cool. What is up? What is up? All right, guys, let's get into the books. First and foremost, we're going to start with the most shocking comic that I read this week, all right? And that is Absolute Batman number 11, which has an origin story of Bane in it, but it also has Bane taking on the Bat. I'm not going to get too deep into the book because you guys should see the final panels of this. I mean, I was flabbergasted. My jaw is on the floor reading this. Here you do have a scene with Batman and Bane facing off. Right, so we get some origin of Bane. It looks like we get maybe a touch of the Joker in this one. I'm going to say there's possibly. It's not clear. There's possibly some Joker action in here. We get an epic battle between Bane and Batman. It's narrated. So I'm thinking Alfred is doing the narration, but we don't actually see who is doing the narration. This is the last page. I'll give you that because it doesn't give away too much. But those are Batman's buddies. They're being hunted at the end. But there is Bane, after 11 years of imprisonment, coming back to his island, and he meets this guy in the white on the beach. But I will tell you what, this book is definitely worth the read. I think it's going to change the trajectory of Absolute Batman. Definitely worth a read if you haven't read it yet. If you've been reading the series, I wouldn't skip to this. I would not skip to this issue because you're just. But Absolute Batman number 11, craziness. I don't know what else to say about it except wow. Okay, there's somebody who read it. Brian, Absolute Batman was crazy this week, right? Right? Oh man, I mean, insane. This just in, Absolute Batman will blow your mind. All right, back to Cup of Comics with New Comic Book Day live. So yeah, I mean, Absolute Batman, insane. Definitely worth picking up. All right. What else do we have? Breaking news: Pain breaks the bat. Right. Oh man, it was it was good. I'm glad I read it. I almost saved it for after this show, and it would have been the only comic book I didn't read this week. And I think I would have been highly disappointed in myself had I not read it before before coming on. All right, this also had some surprises in it. I'm pretty sure Brian, you read this one too. The Amazing Spider-Man number 10. We have like a little news article here, and it basically talks about how Spider-Man, after getting brutally beat by Hellgate, starts beating up on the Aftershock gang. Right, but coming right out the gate, we got some Spidey action, kablooey, and we also have, you know, he's been giving us some of these childhood stories that kind of set the pace for Peter Parker growing up and how he is, what he is, who he is. Here's him fighting the Aftershock gang. I think they also could have got away with Shockwaves, but Aftershock is fine. There's Peter getting summoned by Tombstone. And then Peter he's like, I don't care, man. He's like, you do what you want. Got Black Cat there just testing out the scene. And then later on, it was not appreciated what Peter did. So he sends in Shaka. And first, Black Cat jumps in. I guess I'd show you that. Kind of the stop or to help Peter. And then Spidey handles the rest. But this has not been the same Spidey since meeting up and getting beat up. So down here you can see, you hear the and it looks like Spidey probably broke Shocker's arm, or at least broke his toys. You can kind of see Black Cat, or you see Black Cat in his eyes. She has kind of a look of worry. But this Spidey, he may not be the same guy after, you know, after getting beat up so bad. So Spidey is not himself, let's say, in this book. Him and Peter. So if you want to see that, we're also not going to the last page on this one because it'll give away too much. This was a good read. I am actually digging the new Spidey book, so that's a good thing because Spider-Man has not been that great recently. Yo, Naman's in the house. What's up? Let's see. What do we got going on here? Psychotronic squirt gun. I'm out and about right now. All good, buddy. Do what you got to do. Life is life. Yes. What is going on? And it figures that they bring out like this this situation right before, you know, they got a big issue coming out, right? What is the next? The legacy on the next one is $9.75. So, you know, that'll be like a $7 comic. Swag is in the house. What's up, Swag? Everybody's saying what's up. Swag, congrats. Nominated. Comic Book Community Awards, guys. Don't forget about those. Those are up while we're here. And we're talking comic related stuff. Yeah, congrats to everybody out there who's been nominated. Don't forget to vote. Here's the website. And let's grab the link and throw it in there. Boom. So go ahead. Don't forget to vote for your favorite peeps. You have until October 11th. All right, right around when the start of New York Comic Con is. You have until then, or the end of New York Comic Con. And your boy was nominated for actually a really cool category. Best comic book show. Monday Night Raw books. Yes. So that's awesome. So yeah, guys, make sure to head on over, vote for your favorite creators. Congratulations to everybody in there. Naman's in the house. What's up, Naman? Glad you could stop by. Joe Kelly is finding his groove. Yeah, welcome back to Spider-Man, Joe Kelly. Welcome back. Right, doing his thing, and that is awesome. Yo, congrats. Well done. Thank you, Brian. Always awesome to get some recognition. You know, I've never really truly pushed. I've said, you know, guys, CPC awards. Maybe this year I asked a little bit more than usual for votes, but it wasn't until I became a finalist that I was like, oh snap, it's real. So that's pretty cool. Also, guys, I'm sure everybody here is subscribed, but somebody I think pointed out that I'm only two. Oh, never mind. I'm at 900 subs. I think I hit 900 subs today. Woo, 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 woo. 900 subs, guys. That's awesome. I mean, we'll wake up tomorrow and I'll be at like 858 because somehow YouTube will figure out a bunch of people who haven't been on the haven't checked the channel out in a long time, but it's all good. Right now, today is definitely a day that we hit 900. So that's awesome. And so on this show, I don't typically do giveaways or ducks, but just seeing that I hit 900, and we're gonna check one more time, make sure it's real. But let's see. Let's view my channel. Why'd you say like 859 here? All right, let's see. Hey guys, look right there. 900. 900 subs. That's insane. That's crazy. I hit the magic number. Thank you, Naman. That's awesome. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. All right, guys. So I guess to celebrate impromptu, I didn't really have anything planned for 900. I think 1,000 is when I actually plan to do something big. But let's give away a prize pack. Why not? So for whoever's on right now, I'm going to send you a little something. So just hashtag 900 and go ahead and put that in, and we'll make you a little package of $4 to $5 and send it off. Put it in a nice mailer, comic mailer. Maybe I'll put some artwork in there. We'll see. Not original, just something I've picked up along the way. But yeah, awesome. Super cool. 900. Yeah. I think I saw it was at like 898 this morning. So that means somehow I picked up 2 new subs during the day, which is cool because I think this morning I dropped my previews of the comics coming out today, and I dropped it earlier than I normally do. Usually I drop it on Tuesday nights, but for those of you who actually tuned in, I did Monday Night Raw books on a Tuesday. So that was interesting. That was fun. It actually was cool to see people show up on a Tuesday. Yeah, but I've gotten 52 subs in the last 28 days. That's basically a little less than 2 a day, 1 and change. So that is pretty cool. All right, let's see where we're at, guys. Go ahead and throw that in so we can get going with the rest of the show. I think we're at a good spot, so we're just gonna roll it and see who gets it. There's only 4 entries, guys, so you got a 25% chance to win something. Boom, Kirby. Congrats, Kirby. So Kirby, on I got you on IG. Just reach out with your address, your info, and I'll get that package out to you at some point. We'll put some stuff in there. This is 900. Maybe I'll try to find some cool stuff to put in there. We'll see. All right, guys, back to the comics. Yeah, you will. You are welcome. I wish I had something cooler, like that I had for when I came back from Heroes Con, but I don't have that kind of cool stuff anymore. Second time in a row I got swiped. Swiper, no swiping. All right, so we had a special oversized issue of Catwoman, and I've been reading this for a while. It's pretty good. I always mispronounce Runebeck's first name horribly, so I'm just gonna skip that part. But Catwoman in her younger years rolled with a gang that burglarized, called herself Evie. The leader of the gang passed away, left his sons kind of the kingdom, including Evie or Selena's real identity. And so she's trying not to get found. An escort ends up getting killed. They identify her as Evie. And so Catwoman in the last, this has been maybe, hey Christina, this has been maybe heyo, the Rising Rhinos in the house. Maybe like 10, 15 issues this has been going, maybe 20 issues has been going on. Probably since 10 issues. I think issue 68 this run started. She's, gone back. She's been hunted. She's hunting. She's trying to find out who wanted Evie Hall dead and who has the keys to her real identity. It all comes to a head in this one. And let's just say she burns it down. So Catwoman wasn't playing any games. Overall, really good series. The Catwoman, since Groenbeck took over Tyrone Groenbeck, has really been serious. It's hit some serious tones. It's had like a lot of origin of Catwoman. So if you're trying to see what Catwoman was into in the early days of her career, when she rolled with a crew, probably worth a read. I enjoyed it. I thought this was one of the better Catwoman stories out there. So, Catwoman! I really got to get a table closer. I'm reaching so far away to put these comics after I put them down. This is the part of the pile. I'm going to pick this up. First appearance of Dr. Aphra. Tape, for some reason, won't stay closed on the Mylar. That gets stuck on a cone. All right, here we go. This is the pile. This is an empty bag and board, so we'll move that over there. But next, this is also a really good series. I recommend this. If you can get it in trade now, I would. Falling in Love on the Path to Hell. All right. Follows a samurai and a cowboy who end up in basically purgatory, and they're trying to get out of purgatory. They both died doing, the samurai and the cowboy thing. And initially, they don't. Asami, I believe, is the samurai, female samurai, by the way. She We find out later she can speak some English, but initially she doesn't really communicate. So it's pretty funny. But here we find out, there was a whole history behind female samurais, and this group of guys, of warriors, try to erase that history. And it shows Asami's, this is like one of her tales of, how she proved to be a really great samurai for her time and relentless warrior. We get some cool stuff in this book. All right, if you like heads flying and people getting stabbed, but at the core of this, Jerry Dugan really does a great job telling this love story of like two star-crossed lovers. No, not really star-crossed, but they meet up. But one of the things they realize is, hey, if we find a way back to life, really, being that we're stuck in purgatory, and Asami's from Japan, and the cowboy's name is, we think like 9 issues in. I don't remember the characters' names. What's his name? It's like Griff or not Griff. Anyway, you would think that I would know the name by now. Anyway, getting back to the point, we have these two people who have met in purgatory, almost like hell, really, and they're fighting their way out, or trying to find a way back, and they do, and they realize they'll be separated by an ocean if they get back, right? And that's one of the things they're dealing with. You don't get to see, all the characters in this one. You just get Asami and her main story, but it's a really good book, definitely worth picking up. Everybody's saying, "What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?" I'm good. What about you? Remember to hit that thumbs up button. Thank you, Christina. Christina gets me. She bothered to capitalize N at the end. Thank you, Christina. Yes. All right, here's a book I did not read. This is an oversized celebration of the Dark Knight, so we'll have to get to it. This is Detective Comics 1100. All right, this one looks like it has a lot of creators. So you got Tom Taylor, Greg Rucka, Mariko Tamaki, who for a while was the first female writer on Detective Comics. Dan Waters, and a whole bunch of other guys. Looks like Bill Sienkiewicz is in here. So we'll read this sooner than later. I just fell a little bit behind on Detective, but I feel like with this one, it's more of an anthology. It's gonna have a lot of different stories from different creators. So we can probably get this one in without having read like the last couple of issues. All right, here's another one. G.I. Joe, part of the Energon verse, issue number 10. You got Baroness and CoverGirl on the corner, right? And they're being forced to fight each other. And it's Major Blood. Basically, Major Blood's upset because Baroness is the reason he's missing the eye. He even says, like, he thought his life was over. And I was like, dude, I get it. You lost an eye, but like, it's not like you lost an arm or a leg. You get to wear a patch. Like, come on, you get the right patch. That is just cool. But he's like, really? So he's holding Baroness's parents as collateral. All right. And the odd thing, right? If you grew up as like an 80s, 90s Transformer G.I. Joe fan, whatever, is how they've changed the structure of G.I. Joe, like making Baroness a good guy. She is very much like the anti-hero, right? Has her own way of doing things, which makes it everything sketched for a good guy. But she's still a good guy. And we're 10 issues in, and she's still doing her thing. Destro's in here, and he's pissed off at Cobra Commander. So he basically says Cobra. It's like, tell me what you're doing. And Cobra Commander's like, I'll show you some stuff. So that's fun. That's interesting. Um, that's all we see of them. And then we get the whole battle between Cover Girl and Baroness. They trick Major Blood, basically, because that's what you do in Major Blood. He's not a smart man. And Cover Girl heads off to save Baroness's mom and dad. And we get a Baroness Major Blood battle. Don't want to give away too much. Here's the last page. Yes, that is the Transformer in the back. So, the Energon verse really does cross over. We do have the robots in the skies and the G.I. Joes. I mean, not that this is the first ever crossover. We've had crossover comics in the past, but G.I. Joe, definitely worth the read. All right. Speaking of like hell and purgatory and all that other stuff, we got Grimm by Stephanie Phillips. I got to catch up on this one. All right. So I can't really tell you too much about it, but we do have the Daughter of Death of the Grim Reaper in here. The art in here, I think, is really cool. Laviano, just sets the scene. I believe that's the Reaper, or the daughter of the Reaper with her mother, and that is not her kissing her mother. That's a different scene. So, but yeah, there's just here. It looks like there's some flashback scenes and stuff like that. So the art in this book is really cool. We'll definitely take some time and catch up on this. It did start off a little slow, then picked it up. I don't really hear people speaking ill of it, so I think it's probably worth catching up on. Here's another one I haven't caught up on yet. Gunslinger Spawn. Cover A, he's got a motorcycle. Javier is perhaps the coolest Spawn out there. Don't tell Al Simmons I said that. So we gotta get in here and read and catch up on this. I've been picking up a lot of the Spawn books, but since the price has gone up to $3.99, I think I'm going to start cutting back. So we'll collect like Spawn and Gunslinger. I do like the Curse of Shirley Johnson. That one's pretty cool. That one is a callback to like issue 5. It's insane. But speaking of Spawn universe, here's another one I haven't read yet. Bloodletter. We'll catch up on that one too. I have the first 3 issues of this. So Tim Seeley is on the script and plotting and the writing on this, so might be worth it. Yeah. That guy's not having a good day. Let's see. Definitely, you got the horror style art going on in this one, which a lot of people actually prefer when they do Spawn, because a lot of people see Spawn as a horror title, which it is. Right? It's got vampires and demons, so people don't like it. But Spawn is cartoony. Me, I don't care as long as it's a fun story. I read Spawn for fun. I don't need it to be. I think when Spawn loses itself, when it tries to be too much of like top-notch literature. And I'm not saying like it can't have a message or something. I'm just saying like it's Spawn. It's Todd McFarlane's vision of a superhero when he was a young kid and teenager, right? So that is a totally different thing than when it's not high affluent art. That's like a kid's dream. So have fun with it. That's what I'm saying. Undiscovered Country, number 32. I'm like 20 issues behind on this. Somehow I have them all. I just never stopped collecting them. I think it's partly because it's Scott Snyder. So I've always been a big Snyder fan. And Kemi Cooley, the artist, he's pretty cool. But here's some of the interiors. I would say more about it if I remembered. If I read more. There's a lot of there are a lot of zones. So basically, what happens in this is the U.S. closes itself off from the rest of the world, and then all these different like colonies pop up in there, and they kind of all are different colonies. Some are agriculture, some are science. Different colonies, and they all do different things and have different bad guys and different reasons for surviving. And this group is going around through the colonies, and they're being led by like some Uncle Sam guy. So this is a fun series, and it's told through a couple of different lenses, like meaning each issue kind of focuses on different main characters, and sometimes there's crossover, but you see those characters as secondary characters. So they could be a main character in one book, and then they're like secondary characters, and stuff's happening in the background with them in the main book, in the book with that issue. So all good, Aaron. Handle your biz. We'll be back at it like comic addicts next week. But this ends tonight. Jerry Dugan and Jay Lee working on this. Really fun. In this issue, it's this girl's bachelor party, and has her older sister has been busy doing stuff. Turns out her older sister is an assassin, but her younger sister doesn't know that. And so like there's all this, it gets a little bit unbelievable, but there's like all of this like hubbub happening around them, right? These other assassins are trying to kill these assassins for like, I guess, a job that went sideways. Meanwhile, like the little sister is being shielded from all of it, so she doesn't really know. Like, so their truck gets like run off the road and by some guys on motorcycles, and they like take care of them, kill them essentially. And they're like, oh no, we got a flat tire. That's why it was all over the place, and it does. So meanwhile, the bachelorette, she's also drinking and stuff, so she's getting a little tipsy. So she doesn't know, she's like, oh, I'm drinking. So she's probably not like totally focused on what's going on. But like these guys pick like the wrong time to like strike. They're like at a gun range, and the other assassins are like, hey, let's go attack them while they're on the gun range. I mean, wait till they don't have the guns anymore. And then they end up at this one club that's supposed to be like neutral territory, right? Like no bounties can happen. See this phone, it says on hold. Like you can't collect bounties. And then from issue 1, there's like a whole thing that happens that causes this club to become basically a gang war. Right? Let's see. Yeah, here's some samurai action. Heads will roll. So there's definitely some material of graphic nature in here. And I won't show you the very last page, but just so you know, we do actually make it to the chapel. And then there's a little bit more. It's like a page or a page and a half after that. But the next issue will focus on some other characters, right? So I forget if this is 3 or 4 issues, but there's not a lot to this one. This ends tonight. This stream will also end. Hit the like, friends. Yes, please. All right. So we had Catwoman earlier, and now by G. Willow Wilson. She did Miss Marvel a while ago, and she did really good with it. I think she brought Miss Marvel into a whole nother light. But now she's working on Black Cat, and she make the Black Cat more of a streamlined character. I don't know. We'll find out. But let's see. I mean, it basically starts with with Black Cat at the night nurse's office, and she's like narrating. She's like, "Yeah, am I at the night nurse's office? Yeah, I am." And she's like, "Here's what happened," and then we get to see the lizard just cocking her. Come on, lizard! Don't hit ladies. Not the Black Cat, anyway. So we basically get her whole story of how she ended up at the night nurse's office. Um, there is a bubble bath scene. It's Marvel. Calm down. She takes us through her routine, how she gets ready for the day, how she's got to do her hair and all how expensive that is. She ends up getting pickpocketed, but she can't because she's injured and on her way to the night nurse. This is all part of a flashback. She can't really chase after them because she's got to get to the night nurse and get bandaged up. And then she comes to the realization towards the end that she's got to do something different, right? Spidey's, and this does tie into the Spider-Man. She realizes something's wrong with Spidey, so she can't rely on Spider-Man. She's got to do things herself. And then we do have Sandman back here, right, with Tombstone. So it will loosely tie into the ASM run. I mean, they do operate in the same universe, so I'm pretty sure editorial will make sure they're kind of telling stories that operate on the same level. All right, guys, we're down to the last book of the night. Hopefully, you guys have had a good time here today. In case you guys missed the news earlier, there's a new Archie movie coming out. Universal Pictures set to produce that. Spider-Verse producers Phil Lord and Christopher Miller are going to be working on this. It's Archie, so Archie, Veronica, Betty, and their friends. I assume Jughead will be in there as well. And Tom King, I don't think I mentioned that earlier, will be helping to pen the script for the Archie movie. So I think Tom King's trying to get into script writing or screenwriting. So hopefully it'll work out for him. And Emma Watts will also produce this film. So, and then in other news, also while I'm doing the news, I should be doing the newsroom down. Also, Spider-Man Brand New Day has signed Severance star Trammell Tillman to be in the movie. They haven't confirmed what character is playing, but so far we do have. It seems that we have John Bernthal, right? I believe that's pretty much confirmed as the Punisher. Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk should be in this movie, and then Michael Mando as Scorpion Matt Gargan will be in this film. So those were the news items, and then we also talked about the CBC Awards. Get out there and vote. The good stuff with that. Your boy here was nominated for one, so feel free to throw some votes my way. And we'll put the link in there. Yo. What's up, Alex? Alex in the house, Comic Addicts. Doing good, brother. Doing good. Raiders. The Raiders. Raiders are... All right, we're done with the news, guys. Raiders got a hot rookie this season, running back. So we'll see what he can do. Should be a good season. And the Raiders play the Giants come Christmas time, so that'll be a fun game. I really thought about going to Vegas to see the Raiders Giants, but at the time of the year it is, I think my family would kill me if I chose to travel at that time and go see a football game instead of hang out with them. So, yeah, I'm going to have to miss out, I think, on Raiders Giants. And that would have been fun. Can't wait for football. Me neither. Can't wait. All right. We were up to the last book, so let's go ahead. Let's get that in before we get too far into the football talk. We got the all-new Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider. And I don't know what's going on at Marvel, but Marvel is really getting gruesome these days. They're not even red label in these books anymore. Because, like, people get murdered in this book. All right, full disclosure, I'm sorry. Like, I've read Spider-Gwen books before, and, yeah, things happen. But it's usually, like, I don't want to say fluff, but it's like, yeah, people get robbed or whatever, and she breaks it up, and then it's more about her relationship with like the band, and it's usually a little lighter, and you read it, and you're like, okay, cool. Like, same thing with like Miles, right? You're not like, the stakes are high, but it's not like people aren't flat getting murdered. So when I read this one, guys, like, somebody straight up gets murdered in this book, and I'm like, so this looks like it's going to be a much more Stephanie Phillips is doing this book too, much more serious Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider story. Yes, love me some stakes. With that being said, I mean, it starts off like right off the bat, it's kind of bloody. But, you know, we got Gwen in her new spider suit. There's definitely an introduction of a new costume. She's forming a new band, and that's Cindy Moon. And you may know her as Silk. She's also one of the Spider Peeps. She wants to join the band. That's what I'm talking about, though. Usually it's like the drama is not as crazy as this. And then I read this. I don't want to show you. Like, I'm going to skip. Maybe I can get away with just showing you like that part. So that's like a new villain that's going to show up in here. And basically her dad, who's like a detective / in charge of investigations and everything, it's just like, I can't let you like work on this case. And he's like, you're going to do it anyway, aren't you? So, and then we'll skip that. But here's issue 2. And so she ditched her old costume, which was kind of symbiotic, and I think used the Cosmic Cube to get back her powers. And so it looks like she's going to end up having to pay a price for that. So there's also a new tarantula in this book. So if you missed kind of the transition into this Gwen Stacy, Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider, she's got a new costume and apparently a new villain. So yeah, these are definitely some great books out this week. Must read. I mean, if you're a fan, must read. Yo, most serious Spider-Gwen book I've ever read. Fun. Ties into the Spider-Man series, so in a loose way. But if you're into Spider-Verse, there you go. Wacky, sometimes uber unbelievable, but as an indie book, fun. It happens in Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Gotta read it. Got to read it. Got to read it. G.I. Joe, fun. There's Transformers in it. If you're reading the Energon verse, this is probably a must read. Gotta read it, but a fun, looks like it's gonna be a fun read. And I recommend reading this one. I like the story in this one. I would say my 3 favorite books this week, and I'm biased to this because I've been on this since issue 1. Falling in Love on the Path to Hell, ASM, number 10, and my absolute must read for the week. Must pick it up. If you're only getting one book, Absolute Batman, number 11. It is crazy, insane. Spider-Man and Absolute Batman, guys. I didn't want to show you guys like the final few pages because it gives away some of the most insane stuff, and you can't be ruining it. New comic book day. I got to give you guys a chance to get it. But yeah, those are the show us them guts. Yeah, man. Marvel is and DC, they're both getting brazen. They're getting a little bit rowdy, body. Like they are definitely showing more than they used to, which is crazy. Kirby, you're still in the chat. Shoot me something you'd be interested in. I gave away some comics earlier, gift pack, because I hit 900. Woo! We're at 900. So some people who tuned in earlier gave away some comics. Kirby, if you're here, just shoot me what kind of comics you're interested in, or character you're interested in. Read old Chaos comics you can find for $1 or so, and get the rest of Undiscovered Country and Hella boxes in the future. Evil Ernie and the gang make the world take over fun. Chaos Comics. Yeah. There's a 50-cent warehouse. Maybe I'll try to stop in there and see if I can find some of that stuff. Yeah, I think I got to get off Undiscovered Country, especially since I'm so far behind. I need to drop that book. I also feel like Undiscovered Country is coming to an end. I thought it was coming to an end. Yeah, let's see. They were teasing it ended at issue 36. I feel like we're past that. But originally planned for 50. And this information came out a few months ago. So let's see. It's on 32 now. If it ends at 36, that's cool. If it goes all the way to 50, probably going to have to drop it. So the end game begins here. Looks like it's going to end with 36 because I'm seeing an article that says issue 31 starts, the end game begins here storyline. So part 1 of 6. All right. So might be ending very soon. Very soon. What are you guys reading? Anybody reading anything cool? Anybody actually reading new comic books? Anybody wasting their money on new comics? Because I'm enjoying them, but I don't know about the rest of you. Let's see, what do we got here? Checking some other things. There are some books I didn't pick up this week. Let's see. Books didn't I pick up today? There were some. So Battle Beast came out today. Issue 4, I believe. I wanted to pick that up. Also, Exquisite Corpses came out today. I'm supposed to get cover C with the card in it. The LCS I normally go to didn't have it for me. So I meant to shoot off to the other LCS, but it was raining, so I didn't go. Probably should have. Ghost Pepper was out today, issue 2. I didn't get that. There were a lot of books that came out that I just didn't grab. But I would have liked to have grabbed that. So Exquisite Corpses, Battle Beasts, and Ghost Pepper were some of the books. There was one more that came out today, and I'm blanking on it. It's an indie, and I want to Escape #1 with some. It's got an anthropomorphic main character who's like a fighter pilot who gets knocked or shot down behind enemy lines. So that was the other one I wanted to pick up. So we'll pick those up. I'll shoot a text over to the local comic shop that I didn't go to today, and I'll shoot them an email, and they'll probably be able to pull some of those books for me. And if I can't get the bagged version of Exquisite Corpses, then I'll just get cover A or something. So. Yeah, you might want to do that. There were a lot of covers too of Jay and Silent Bob. The Archie meets Jay and Silent Bob. Like I saw a lot of covers. It felt like a Dynamite book. Like every store I think had a cover for that. I think it's fun though, right? Because there's the secret stash that Kevin Smith owns. Ready, he's got his own comic store, and so I think a lot of comic shop owners just kind of have a camaraderie with that, right? And who doesn't like Jay and Silent Bob? I mean, I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people who like Jay and Silent Bob, but they're a fun duo. So I think that's cool. All right, where are we at? Did I cover everything we need to cover? I mean, we went through all the books today. Do you need to shoot that email now to the other LCS? I'm pretty sure the Exquisite Corpses the bag version may not even come out this week. There may have been a delay on that, but I didn't see it on the so they're basically doing a card game, or that at least that's the premise. Is next year James Tynion is dropping a card game based off of Exquisite Corpses, and so he's been doing polybagged cover C's for the series with these special cards that you can get, just variations, I guess, on them. Let's see. So I got issues 2 and 3. I have issue 1 coming. And then there's cover C. So honestly, I see other people have it pretty much for cover price too, which is good. And it's in stock, so I can get it from another place. Obviously, I'll have to pay shipping. But and the thing is, did it actually come out this week? Yeah, it says it came out this week. All right, well, time to track it down. We'll get it from Well, we'll see if the other LCS has it, and then if they don't have it, we'll track it down somewhere else. What is the one thing you would change in your favorite comic? Up until this week, I would have said getting a good writer on Spider-Man. But Joe Kelly's actually doing a really good job on Spider-Man. Favorite comic? Right now, I would say Spider-Man was my favorite comic. But then Ultimate Spider-Man took it over. If I could change anything about the Ultimate Spider-Man series, I wish Peter would just be a little bit more daring. I get that he's a family man in the series, but sometimes he just backs off a little bit too much. I need to see him get angry. He doesn't get angry enough. We need the character to be more nuanced. It's kind of one note at the moment. So, Hulk, the Hulk series too. If I could change that, I would say that Hulk needs to get the Hulk's been aggressive, but he needs to fight more monsters. Like these monsters have been hiding in the background, and I'm like, Hulk, you need to smash something. But like, stop smashing the good guys. Like stop being broody and just walking away from things, and like turn around and let's smash some demons and beasts. Like these things are coming after you. You got to go back at them. Wow. No, I haven't seen the Ice Cream Man card set. That's interesting. That's pretty cool. I would make DWJ Brightmoor Murder Falcon. Yeah, that was kind of the book that propelled him. Right, was the Murder Falcon. Murder Falcon propelled him into the next stratosphere, if you will. So. Also, I want to see Peter wear the black costume instead of he switched from the black back to the red. I want him back in the black. Back in black. All right, guys. I think it's that time. All right, dance party over. All right, guys. Thank you for being here. It was fun. I had a really good time. If you want to see the comics I bought this week, just go ahead and catch the replay or the rewind, and you can watch it on times 2 speed. Maybe move the cursor along, just get the covers. But yeah, totally do that. Get DWJ back on Murder Falcon. That was a fun series. That was cool. All right, comic fans, do what you do. I'm gonna do what I do. I'm gonna try to catch up on those books that I didn't read this week. A lot of them I'm a couple issues behind, so we got to get there. But yeah. Deuce pieces, we're out. What's today? Today's Wednesday. Friday, I'm gonna release the my haul video where I'll do a little review on the books. I mean, I pretty much did it today. I could just clip it and and re-release it on Friday. And then yeah, this weekend, stay tuned for some like shorts and stuff. I will do a what's in the box for Sunday. So we'll open up. I think we're gonna open up a Comic Town pack again. So we'll get some Comic Town back in the ride. 900 hashtag road to 1K. That's right, Rich. We are at 900. What's up, Richard in the house? We had another Rich in the house too. So that's we got all the riches. We were just about to head out, Richard, but I do appreciate you stopping by, bud. And yeah, seeing I made 900. It was weird. I woke up this morning. I think I was at 898. I went to sleep last night too. I was at 898. We were 2 away from 900. and then woke up this morning, didn't realize it, did the whole thing. Awesome. Good to hear you good. Every day is a good day, right? Love the shirt in the picture too, the Superman shirt. Every time I see that, I'm like, I gotta go get me a Superman shirt. I have a Connor shirt. I have the black and red Superboy shirt, but I need a good old Superman shirt. Only one Richard per chat. That's true. There can only be one. Um, yeah, only one Rich. Yeah, so I need I don't need. So I was at 9. I found out I was a 900 during this stream because I think I went to tell everybody. It's like, hey guys, I'm only 2 away. I was like, and I know you guys are already all subbed. I'm only 2 away from 900. And then I look and I was at exactly 900. And I was like, oh, when did that happen? So it's actually pretty cool. So, we got the comic book community award. That's the Great Wall. Oh, nice. It feels like I've seen it before. So that would explain it. Even though it's like super tiny from this. But I do, my computer can zoom. Yeah, look at that. That's awesome. That the Great Wall. To know when that was built and how long and tall it is it's one of the it's a modern marvel, if you will, or it's just a marvel. But yeah, to wake up, I'm CBC Awards nominated. I'm at 900. All you guys keep coming back to the stream. We get to hang out. That is cool. So I'm enjoying it. Enjoying this thing we call life and comic books. And today was New Comic Book Day, so I read. I didn't keep track, but I think I read about 7 comics so far today. So that's cool. I used to do like 3 a day, and I found out that like my August 29th, Ja Rule and Ashanti will be performing for the Nationals game. Anyway, after the game. So if you guys live in the DC area and you like Ja Rule or Ashanti, August 29th, the baseball game for the Nationals. Anyway, the weird things we see when we just look at the TV over there. Yeah, so like I was saying, I used to read 3 books a day, and then I figured I found out that it's just a lot easier to sit down, read them all at once instead of doing, a couple a day, and then it frees you up to do other things, so you don't have to, dedicate time to reading comics, and you can get them all squared away. You need to do a video, you put them away. If you need to put them away, you don't have to have comic books laying out all over the place. You get them bagged and boarded, so you don't have to worry about spilling water or them getting damaged or anything. It just makes life easier to just sit down and pound it out. And then I actually sound like I know what I'm talking about when I talk about modern comics during New Comic Book Day. So, in all, it is a good thing. But all right, thank you so much for stopping by, Richard, and thank you so much everybody else who was in the chat today. Kirby, thank you for being here. Always appreciate it. The Assassins, thank you for being here and dropping your question in the chat. Hopefully my answers weren't too fluff. I wanted, thank you, Alex, Comic Addicts, for being here. Brian LCS, thank you. Psychotronic Squirt Gun, thank you for being here today. Christina Payne, thank you for stopping by. Naman, thank you also for being here. Swagdo was in the house. Thanks, Swag, for being here. Ryzen Rhino was here. What's up, bud? Did I miss anybody? Oh, Birdman was here. Kenneth Bird. Oh. So I think that was everybody. If I missed you, I'm sorry that I missed calling you out, but I do appreciate everybody stopping by. So yeah, everybody have a great week, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Monday Night Raw books on Monday, that's a definite, and then next Wednesday we'll be here. I will be traveling on Monday, but I do plan on being home on time to do Monday Night Raw books. And then next Wednesday, we will have New Comic Book Day live with comic news. All right. So, yeah, deuces. Peace. We're out. Shit.